How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with some more Historic Brawl. Now, I think I had a couple videos ready beforehand, leading up to this release, that went a little bit over, so I think I'll be putting in new video, old video, new video, old video for a couple of days. So I might say things that sound weird, but no, there is a process to it all. We're playing Bruna, Fading Light, and the reason... Angels, I like it. Is we're basically trying to meld her. Why did that suddenly go down to 1 mana? That makes no sense. Okay, opponent. I guess my own deck is my opponent now. I don't know. Why do you do that, man? Saphira, what's up, buddy? I don't know. I don't know what's up. So Saphira and Avacyn. I don't know how they interact. I think Avacyn is already indestructible, so I think that's a non-issue, but I put it in there because it kind of feels cool, you know? Kind of feels cool. Now let's Skyclave away the Vadrock, save ourselves some trouble. Then we can Emancipation Angel the Skyclave to re-Skyclave the Vadrock whenever that becomes a problem. 3 mana, 3/3 with flying. Those are some real stats back in the day. And the release of the new Innistrad set has made me both simultaneously happy and simultaneously sad. I'll take that one. Gonna see old Vadrock come back down. We will repeat what happened last time. Fair enough. Drawing 2 cards is probably a better use of time. See, that's a trap I would have fallen for. Neat. Dead, though. Lyra Dawnbringer. Yeah, so part of the reason why I put her in an angel cell is because she reanimates an angel when she enters the battlefield, right? And ideally you want to reanimate Gisela with that. But there's a good chance you're not going to find her right away, right? And if that's the case, you're going to want to have something else to reanimate. And between angels and humans, like, I bet you could build a good white human deck, but angels just tend to provide more bang for the buck, right? No, yeah, none of those creatures fly. And I can't really ramp, unfortunately. Let's... Yeah. Angels just got there in the end. So this is shortly after the whole Griselbrand debacle, which was like 2 days ago for you guys. So for you, in your perspective, it was just a weird, random, crazy thing that happened. But from my perspective, it's still kind of fresh, man. And I don't want to drone on about it because we're in mono white funland now. Like, we're doing something that shouldn't work anyways. So it's no problem if Bruna, the Fading Light, fails to do her thing for 7 matches in a row, because, you know, it wasn't very likely that it was going to happen anyways. But I don't know, man. It's just still slightly there. I tried to chill out. I did some cooking in the meantime. I prepped some pepperoni rolls for baking later, and I think, you know, I think that's fine. I think we'll get to the chill point. Okay, so we have a Swords, a Cold Heart, and a Thraben Watcher. I saw this card and I realized, wow, that's a weird card. let's get rid of the protection, because we're going to have to spend a removal spell on that anyways. And 1 life for 1 piece of protection is fine. We actually got Giada, Font of Hope, so I'm probably going to play that instead. She's just a cool angel card, right? We're against a Falco Saphira deck, though. I don't know. So, the commander speaks to a kind of counter-based strategy, right? But it doesn't have to. Like, that's the weird thing with all of these commanders, is that even though, yeah, no, that's what it should be doing, it doesn't have to do that. And that's what makes it weird, man. So you can't really look at a commander and say, well, I can expect this to happen, because we really can't. Like, a Wrath of God off the top would be kind of sad for us, but I guess Bruna goes a little way into mitigating that concern. Dude, Clint Clearly went hard on the artwork, man. Do I have an enchantment in my deck? I might not. I do. Well, that's actually a decent answer to the borrowed time. Look at me, in the past, competently building decks. Yeah, so Bruna felt like an easy first commander to go through, because, like, she has a plan, and if you get to the plan, it's pretty good. So I do like that about her. You will not hold. I guess you will hold my my Giada captive, but you know, you're gonna have to pay for it. So next one we ramp to 6. That's the magic thing, isn't it? Halcyon? Halcyon is a magic thing, I think. Because the one mono white life switch commander is Urva, Witness of Halcyon, right? Something like that. Well, our opponent has effectively called our bluff in that we have no other action that can affect them next turn. So tapping out for Falco at this point is probably fairly rewarding. But they've also just played the hand, right? Like, they have 2 counters to work with. Just ramp up to 9 then. Wait. So we just put down 4. And that should be enough. We can have Thraben Watcher block Falco if he comes our way. But that's only after we've removed the protection counter. Or after they have. I don't know if they will. They can get 3 more counters on Incubation Druid by leveling it up or incubating it, I think it's called. No, not incubating. Adapting. Is incubating a mechanic? I don't think it is. There is a card called, yeah, no, it's Incubation Druid. That's where I got the word from. I was like, where in your mind did you find this word that you've just attached to this random card for no reason? Ew. I guess we go for trades then. Try to get down as much of their board as possible so that we can actually get some value on the backswing. Yeah, no, I'll take that trade. So I think I get Incubation Druid, Greeters, and Thraben Watcher. I think Falco survives because Falco is the card draw engine, and getting rid of the card draw engine would be lunacy, really. Although, you know, you can recast it. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. Yeah, so we are a mono white reanimator deck too. I should have mentioned that at some point. Is this game 1 or this is game 2? This is game 2. Okay, yeah, I remember now. My mind is muddled. The mixture has gone bad. Too many references, man. Someday my brain will be able to come up with a competent sentence without making a reference to something. But it's just so difficult these days, you know? Because everything is attached to everything. Like, if you say a random sentence, you can get somebody that'll be like, hey, you know, that was a sentence from the prequels and the extra lore book attached to the animated Clone Wars or something like that, right? Like, you'll get that everywhere because there's just so much mass media these days that everything is related to everything. And even when it isn't, it tangentially is. Like, we have anime magic now and Lord of the Rings magic, so like everything is connected. And it's terrifying and glorious at the same time. Man, I hope Gandalf the White is good, because Gandalf the Grey is kind of meh. I do love Lord of the Rings. Wow. It's very neat. Gonna take me one of them. Gonna exile me one of them. Gonna play me one of these. We'll take a cleric back. Search up our final enchantment, which is bonkers, but okay. Swing for 3. I don't really care if it dies. And that removes a counter, so that's a card off the table. Next time we reanimate something from them because, I guess it's not really worth it to use Ascend the Avernus. This is a cool card. Like, I was looking at Rally the Ancestors, and Rally the Ancestors only gives you the creatures for a turn, and it doesn't give them haste. So it's just considerably worse for 1 extra mana, and it's like, no thank you. Hydron Graces. That's what I like to see. What am I reanimating from you? I guess I could get back my own Thraben Warden. Yeah, I feel as though we probably just have a lockdown on the game, but you never know. So if they... Yeah, I guess they're not willing to take the block here. Oh, there goes our portal. They do have to sacrifice a creature to get there, but... they're still fairly far behind. I feel, anyways. It's hard to say for sure. are just getting back all the lands. Huh. Put a counter on each other. Yeah, I guess they jumped to reset Falco, but then they could have just Victory's Envoy Falco anyways. I guess Falco is just a really good jumper if you can get him with the protection counter, right? Because he can jump twice, which is pretty good. I need lands. I need to get rid of these lands off the top of my deck, if possible. Please. For the love of God. Hey, there's Apparition. What am I grabbing? I think I grabbed that. Because then I can swing in with 2. Anything of use in the art? No, not really. We have all of the mana in the world, nothing to use it on. Our opponent's in the same boat, though. More counters. I like the thought. Doing some returning. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about any of this. Doing some shuffling, trying to get a creature on top. I can appreciate that. Hopefully they whiff though, because they also have an essentially infinite amount of mana. Okay. Recommission can go. Yeah, I guess we just go. Begin the end game. Falco can only block 6 of our 12 flying damage every turn. actually lost one creature there. We lost two, but... Decline. I don't... Well, actually, I should have got that one because I don't want the planes. Even though we do intend on just winning next turn. Yeah, they need another flyer. If they don't find it, they lose. Because our flyers alone are enough to get the job done. Turns out flying is a good ability. Did not know. The confirmation is actually kind of decent. I don't know, it's night and day comparing... Because we compare things based on our recent experiences, right? And comparing Bruna the Fading Light to Griselbrand, it's just been such a night and day experience because... Like, whenever you cast a Griselbrand, your opponent immediately tries to answer it, or to get you into a situation where you can't use it. Yeah, our opponent has conceded. They have figured out that there's nothing left. We go on to game 3. Yeah, but it's night and day because Bruna on herself isn't scary enough to warrant like immediate hate removal, but Griselbrand is, and it turns out that just a 5/7 beater that can hit every turn might, it's an old commander thought, right? Like, is it best to play a functionally powerful commander, or to play a less powerful commander and try to just get by with that, right? Well, this hand is different, I'll give it that much. I think I'm gonna free mullet, if I'm being honest. That's what I want to see. Game 3. Game 3 is always where the action happens. Never let anybody tell you otherwise. Next turn I can flash in a Glorious Protector. Hopefully get him off my back for turn 4. Play Gisela, the Broken Blade. Yeah, so the milled ability is actually attached to Gisela. I really did like Gisela as a character too. She was one of the first, I don't want to say first, I think she was like the second mythic that I opened, and at some point in the future I will reveal what the first mythic I opened is, because it actually came to Arena with Innistrad Remastered, but I currently don't have the mythic wildcards to craft it, so and it's not particularly high on my list of things to craft either. Resolve. Decline. My turn. Swing in for 3. Hello and good luck. I saw that coming. She's okay in the graveyard anyways. Deal 3 damage. Opponent. 4-bit. Where's 8-bit? 2-bit? 16-bit? 12-bit? I just want to see some bits, honestly. Never mind, that sounded wrong. Countered again. I didn't have the mana. So sad. You're gonna have to do something eventually, opponent. 25 divided by 3 equals 8 and a bit. So 8 and a bit turns from now. You will lose. Draw, discard, okay. So Steel Seraph isn't gonna resolve, right? Like, I don't see how or why that would happen. Okay, it did though. It did though. It's weird. 4 toughness might be our savior right now. Hey, there's another red source. They are working their way towards a dragon, and I can appreciate that. Dragons are cool. They are very cool. Lifelink, since it has everything else. No. Rude. Hit you for 5. ECD. Can you stop my 3rd reanimation spell? The bouncer dies. And Elspeth Conquers Death is on the board. They need a cheap counterspell now because ECD is gonna tax them. And it looks like they've decided to just forego the cheap counterspell and just pray it works. Unfortunately for us, it did just work for them. So that's kind of sad. It also means that it's unlikely that this gets countered. And that's Gisela the Broken Blade back into existence. Alright, Mr. Payroon. Vigilance, I guess. Swinging for 5. Got a bounce spell, opponent. I'm going for it. Deal 1 damage. Brisela, Voice of Nightmares, has entered the fray. And that's too much for opponent. So, we did manage to actually meld her. That's kind of cool. Either way, if you did like the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, you know the deal. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.